those who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separate from suffering and severely. I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. Oh, Mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who carry obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and severely I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. Dala Damwara Zepe Da Nupara Zepe Ge Tarpa Dan Damje Chembe Barda Chiu Para Zep Tamje Je Zo Zepe Mananga Dan Yambe Semje Damje Dewa Dan De Dongara Dan Tar Nyorda Lana Me Ba Yanda Bara Zobe Sanjo Rumbo Je Do Barasa. Thus, under achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the Khandaru Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dhakas, Dhakinis, and the Dhamma gardens, possessors of our eye of wisdom. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the example of the Bodhisattvas. As previous Buddhas ambassador enlightenment and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path. I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to Bodhicitta and apply myself to complete the stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind to all Tathangatas in the 10 directions. Those who have already reaching the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at the present, and those Tathagata state to come. Through the power of Samadha prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I post it to them, multiply in my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. In each atom, I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by the countless Bodhisattvas. Thus, all space is filled with the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through manifesting, chanting, expressing the great ocean of the excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of various pure flowers, flower garlands of music, honoring oils, manifesting light and the fragrant incense. I make offering to them of fine garment and the perfume and the purple, poured high as moon meadow and orange the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and the most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I posted to Buddhas and make offering to them following the deeds of the great Bodhisattva Samantabhadra. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas in the 10 directions of the great Bodhisattvas and the Pakika Buddhas, those who have attained Aharashya, those who have entered the path of Aharashya and all other beings. I request to all great protectors and the Buddhas to turn the highest way of Dharma as the light, dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions, leading them gradually to the enlightened states. I supplicate those Buddhas intended to pass into Parinirvana to living long for as many eons as there are atoms of the earth in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through both stations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewed with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the spring mountain, the 4 continents, and the sun and the moon. As Buddha fair, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fairs. To the Lama who possesses the Tirikayas, or offered the altar, inner and the sacred offerings. With my body, with and all that is visible, please grant me the supreme realization of enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and prayer, for the sake of enlightenment of our sentient beings, all these are dedicated. Om Guru Rinna Mandala, Panzamanga, Samanda Savar, Samaya Hong. In core refuge, O name of the world, your fame provides the 3,000 words. You are the victor Vajradhara without dropped. I bow at the feet of Father Jiktin Songo. Continue nothing of no one but you. Compassionate one, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unliberated nature of mine. Please turn the way of the Dharma of the true way hackers and the combination according to the disposition and likewise the mental capacity of sentient beings. Page 32. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, free of the true clouds of the true words, and perceive the various steps of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, he holds the wisdom text at his heart. He has compassion for all beings who suffer from the darkness of ignorance and the prison of samsara as a father for our only son. Like a thunderclap, he wakened those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing the charm of karma through the 60 branch of Haramani's speech. He wears the wisdom sword to cut the settling of suffering and to dispel darkness of confusion. In the Bodhisattva form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplished in the 10 levels and perfect in the body of all knowledge. I supplicate you, Manjushri, adorned by the 112 sons of Buddha, to dispel darkness of my ignorance. Om Arabazanade, 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 Om Arabazanade. Wange Joramo, Wange Joramo, Wange Joramo. You who are the perfect, beautiful body, whose flow of wisdom blesses, and dispel darkness of worldly ignorance, are posted before you and press you, Manjushri. Tangge Tuje Yaje Reisen Dong Yinje Mado Deje Bongjong Serje Lambo Tawar Jibege Yaje Jarbe Yala Zorwande Dorjen Janjen De Lo Naro Dam Marba Mala Jije Gambo Ba Bamo Juba Jarwa De Gombe Kaje Lama Nan La Zorwande Rome Jije Yen Podang Ne De Zom Sanje Genje Ngo Nye Ransan Jige Ngo Zon Don Zebe Zabe Lame Jala Zorwande. Good morning, everyone. Okay.
Morning, Lamala.
Good morning.
So, state your meditation. Morning, everyone. State your meditation. Waking the mind. Do you need waking the mind or no need? You need, yeah. We have to waking the mind. This stage of meditation, waking the mind, awakening the mind. Awakening mind has 8 chapters. So we are how to meditate in Vipassana. We finished the Shamatha meditation and now we are in the Vipassana section. Shamatha is a meditation is more for beginners. Vipassana is more deeper and kind of more practitioners. So little bit harder than Shamatha, of course. Shamatha is a very simple and kind of more easy to use for practice, if long as we practice. Vipassana is deeper and little harder than shamatha because intellectual part and the rest in mind, two different shamatha sections. Intellectual, we have to lots, investigate, analyze. So that's also harder to take long time if analyze, investigating, or the phenomena. Then go into rest in mind meditation, also hard because no use to that. And then no any support. So shamatha, we have a support. In vipassana, you don't have a support. It's stay in the nature mind. It's hard to be in the nature because no use to. We have so strong samsaric karmic imprints and easily follow the dualistic conceptual. So vipassana is non-dualistic, non-conceptual, rest in mind in the nature states. So not easy for the beginner practitioners without shamatha meditation. So shamatha meditation really helps for vipassana meditation. Shamatha is a kind of a cause. Vipassana is more result. Same is like love is cause, compassion is result. So like that, love, compassion is method. Shamatha, vipassana is wisdom. So shamatha meditation is cause, vipassana is a result. Without the shamatha, cannot really meditate vipassana. Because if you have thoughts, you really cannot see the own nature. And the water is polluted, dirty. You cannot see inside the water what it has. You cannot see the fish. You cannot see the stones, sands inside the water. So water must be clean. Then you can see the fish inside the water. You can see all the ground, stones, and what is inside the water, colorful things, or you can see clearly. Water is polluted, so not possible to see that. Like that, mind is follow the thoughts, emotions, controlled by thoughts, emotions, not possible to see in the nature. So this is vipassana is seeing insight, special. Seeing insight means seeing our own nature. Like same is like water is not polluted. You seeing clearly bottom the water is everything pure. So like that, we have to see our own nature. That's why before this vipassana meditation, we have to meditate always shamatha. Then you have a shamatha meditation kind of more stable. You can go up to vipassana. So vipassana, we already talked two different levels, analytical or discursive meditation, and non-conceptual meditation or rest in the mind. So this analytical also, we have two different sections, two subcategories. So that is called the meditating on the selflessness of person and meditating on the selflessness of phenomena. If that section is go more detail, it's then all the way go to Buddhist philosophy. It's take long time to study. Lots analytical, use logic, investigate. I shared last week, here in this stage of meditation, very simple, just investigating, analytical, not the difficulty. So meditators, what you need. So only you need just this kind of analytical meditation. Even you don't have a study or the philosophy, analytical, go follow the Mayamika logics. Without that, still you can go into resting mind meditation. So when you rest in mind meditation, at least you need in this section, meditating selflessness of person and meditating on the selflessness of phenomena, the analytical. That really help for resting meditation. When you rest and meditate, mind resting, during that time meditation have lots of experience arise during the meditation. So without this analytical, meditators can be stuck. They cannot go through. So that's why I use here analytical meditation. Analytical really helps clarify your doubts, thoughts, like your experience. Sometimes you think, you realize that kind of happening. So this really analytical helps take the path. Same as a GPS, when we go to on the road, so you don't have any experience, you don't know how to get through. So use GPS to find the path. So like that, analytical helps us guide. And the rest in mind meditation is a practice. So you are diving, you are on the path, GPS help you taking to right direction. So like that, this analytical helps us going to taking right direction. So then we have to practice resting mind meditation. Same as like you have to go on the path. If we don't go on the path, then GPS also useless, cannot have anything, right? Like that. If we don't meditate, the analytical meditation also doesn't help much. Long as you meditate, practice, then this analytical really guide us. So the analytical, I told you many different levels. So it's go deeper. It takes years to investigating. Buddhist has become like philosophy, and Buddhist has become logic beyond the religion. Where it's talking about beyond the religion is because analytical meditation. And use the intellectual, so then we go beyond the religion. Religion means like we accepting something, you believe something, you trust something, but that's okay. But this take you more beyond than that. This our like something accepting, trust, believe something, that's all is a temporary support. So this practice meditation taking into the enlightenment, not just like bring something, some sort of good conditions. So that's why we have to go through like beyond the religion. So religion is like something believe, trust you're something, you're protector, like you believe something. That's a temporary only. That's why that's the reason we need this selflessness of person and selflessness of phenomena meditation. So long as you use this intellectual meditation, then we go to rest in mind. So rest in mind section, last week we talked the two, actually kind of a little bit three different levels. Three different levels is like you are new to meditation, then you just go into looking into the natural mind, not investigating your thoughts and emotions. Don't just watching thoughts, emotions, what's going on, because I'm not ready to do that. Beginner, this non-conceptual meditators, just look nakedly in the mind, then at the mind, not seeing anything there in nature. So you're seeing your mind's emptiness, not exist. So that's is the meditating. You don't see anything there existing. You will have the experience of being in the state of entity-lessness. So you recognize nothing is a permanent inherently exist. Your awareness just resting naturally in the nature states. In that state, you have to relax your awareness there. Then you recognize your own true nature. So that's for beginners, not looking, like watching the thoughts and watching the emotions. Then once that you have like later practitioner, like you have gotten a later more adopt at the practice, whatever arise and whatever efforts you will only need to look directly into it. So if thoughts arise, you look thoughts. You emotion arise, you look to the emotions. Then thoughts, emotion also not exist inherently. They are liberatory, naturally their own states. Beginners cannot do that because of thoughts, emotion, we have stopped. When thoughts, emotion comes, recognize, just let go and directly go back to in the meditative resting mind. You are become more adopting, used to, then thoughts, emotion, whatever arise, appearances, you just can watch that. And thoughts also arise, you can watch the thoughts. Thoughts itself is empty, not exist. So that means thoughts is transformed to the Dharmakaya. Thoughts is liberating. Emotion arise, you watch the emotions. The emotion also itself is emptiness, not really exist inherently. So you liberate emotions. So that means like this 5 afflictive emotion, which is arise, you see the emotion, and emotion itself is not exist inherently, liberating its own nature. So then that is called the 5 wisdoms. 5 afflictive emotion is transformed to the 5 wisdom. That section is highest level, deeper, like highest level meditation only can have the ability. For our beginners, not really possible to do that because emotion has a very strong power. When emotion comes, like we lost our control. Emotion control us. Then same is like last week I shared with you, winter, cold weather, wind is so strong. Like wind comes, we extremely frozen, cold. So you cannot generate yourself heat because wind is so powerful, cold like that. And ordinary people, emotion is like that. When emotion comes, not possible to transform, and these beautiful words cannot use. So like heat, cold weather comes, or tomo meditation, create all the heat, generate ourselves heat, and the cold is transform hot. It's beautiful words, right? But not possible. So like that, ordinary people, we thoughts, emotion arise. We say, oh, it's transformed. When thoughts, emotion is Dharmakaya. It's beautiful words, but it's not possible for our beginners. Not possible. Thoughts, emotion comes, just 100% control us. That's why, so beginner meditators not try to like liberating thoughts, emotions, just recognize and let go. That's the best way we can meditate. But then you are more used to adopting your mind's rest and relax. And then you have ability, like watch the thoughts, emotions. Same is like spring, wind, cold wind didn't have that kind of power. Same is the winter wind. Winter wind is extremely cold. Spring wind is not that cold because due to weather condition change, right? Like that, due to our practice, you can change your emotion. So practitioner emotions are not that strong. Then you could be liberate emotion. When emotion arise, you can have ability to watch your emotions, look to the emotions and the thoughts. So that time then thoughts, emotion, whatever appearances arise, they are not really inherently exist. So it's emptiness. It's there. You don't have to destroy these thoughts, emotions. Thoughts, emotion itself is emptiness. It's you just recognize and be that, and then just naturally liberating into the Dharmakaya, nature states. So it's a dependent individual level. Then last way we talked, when you gain greater accomplishment in the practice, you will be free from any grasping at a meditation object or which to meditate, and therefore you will be free from any contrived or effort for meditation. That's so high level meditators, then free from any grasping at meditation or object on which to meditate, because you always in the natural state, so that state. So you really don't have subject and object all the time. You are in that state. That means like great accomplishment, like siddhis, high level realized yogis have that kind of ability. They come back to Dula state is more harder than stay in the natural states. So they are always in the natural state. You bring into them is a Dula state, is harder. Yeah. So they always be in the natural states. That time then they don't have a subject and object. So rest always in the natural states. That is like highest level. And then last week we talked all Buddha share many teachings, because all is like teaching is for purpose. Main point is for the recognized true nature. All the like different levels, step by step. If you're going to floor, like first floor to second floor, you have to follow the steps. All these steps for purpose for you taking into the top of the building or top of the house. So like that. And all these teachings for purpose, main point for realize true nature, not any other than that. That's why Buddha shares so many different teachings. So you have like 9 levels of house, like 9 store or 9 floors of house. You need like all these stairs to go up to the top of the house. So same like that, all these teachings helping us taking to the recognized true nature. So like that, all the teaching is important. If you have many these stairs, you cannot say last step is most important. Without the first one, how you can get the last one. Without the middle one, how you can be up there. Think about all the stairs is most important. Then we have elevator, I know. Another method, more fast. The elevator also has a fast, many different kind. Fast is like you really headache also too fast. Your air also pain. Like 100 taller buildings, like couple seconds you up there, take up there too. Like that. So this teaching also has many different levels. So due to the individual capacity. That's our last way we shared. Then there's no higher practice than substanding this. So we don't have more higher, more beyond in this teaching, because this teaching is introducing true nature. Long as you have recognized true nature, you cannot go more than that. That's it. That's called suchness nature. You recognize. Whatever arises, let it arise without grasping onto it. So meditators, whatever thoughts, emotions arise, let arise without grasping onto it. No fixation, no grasping, no analyzing to it. Just let arise. The grasping at a duality of self and other is the rule of samsara. This dualistic grasping, of course, is the root of samsara. It's negative. It need not be said that grasping at the negative side, like the three poisons, is problematic. As this is clear, but even grasping at the positive side, such as grasping to view meditation and conduct, becomes an impediment to liberation. So we are going to meditate this resting mind, non-conceptual, and then this practice go beyond the positive object too. Positive thoughts, positive object, we have to go more beyond that. So free from dualistic means no positive, no negative, more beyond in that. If you are attached to positive, that's also become dualistic. So that's also become your fixation to that. So you stuck still in the samsara, you cannot liberate yourself. That's the reason this section is not talking about for beginners. For beginners, we need positive, support. Positive support, connect with spiritual, connect with the Dharma, connect with Buddha. The helps become taken into this level. But when you go into this level, then you have to free from positive and negative both thoughts. Otherwise, we stuck there too. That's why it's in this section, just I read the, sentence. It's Genje Mahamudra. Genje Mahamudra, Telopa share to Naropa. Telopa or giving instruction is talking about the non-dualistic, non-conceptual meditation, teaching giving to Naropa. Telopa not try to help. Naropa has a good conduct, morality, patience, effort. He has already that part. The Telopa only, Naropa has dualistic precepts. Naropa has this conceptual thoughts because he attached to positive and, he recognized this negative thought, emotion is negative. Have to abandon that negativity, and he knows he wanted to create, he have to create a positive karma conditions. He recognized that, he knows that, but then he didn't have this highest level non-conceptual. That's why Telopa or giving instruction to Naropa is non-conceptual meditation. It's we say highest level, deeper level. So then when you get into the non-conceptual meditation, this all the negative, positive, both are same, no difference. Just we have to liberate both. So then this section, meditators thoughts, emotion arise. Always when you meditate, thoughts, emotion arise. Meditators feel, these thoughts, emotions are taken into the path. So depend the individual level. Beginners, we stop the thoughts, emotions, but then this one is vipassana. We don't try to stop the thoughts, emotions, let arise. Thoughts, emotion arise. Just recognize and then let go or recognize, analyze, you analyze thoughts, emotions, watch the thoughts, emotions, liberating. The either is possible, so depending our ability. Beginner for shamatha vipassana meditators, when thoughts, emotions arise, recognize, let go. And then high recognize, realizers, thoughts, emotions arise, and watch the thoughts, emotions, seeing the thoughts, emotions separate the meditators. Meditator use the thoughts, emotions, object of meditation. So then you see the thoughts, emotion itself is emptiness. Thoughts, emotion is liberating to the Dharmakaya. So then here, therefore, no matter what arises, do not grasp onto anything. This is the supreme part. This is how to do it. So know how to do it, this practice. Relying on this method, like last week we stopped here. Now we page 70. Relying on this method is beneficial in dispelling confusion. So if we rely on this method, what we talked, so liberating thoughts, emotion, method is beneficial in dispelling confusion. Whenever your mind wanders off in distraction, such as when desire arises, pacify this distraction and quickly bring your mind back. So when you meditate, then your mind wanders off in distraction. So when you meditate, of course, always have a distraction. Distraction such as when desire arises, like desire arise, could be anger arise, could be jealous arise, could be pride, all the different kind of the emotion arise, desire arises. So what we have to do, pacify this distraction. Pacify is a method already we talked up there. Let go or recognize, look to the desire. Desire itself is emptiness. That kind of method we use. Then desire, anger, or pacify. This distraction and quickly bring your mind back. So then your mind bring back and quickly meditating. So there's also like many different abilities, individual level. You can recognize thoughts, let go, or stop the thoughts, emotions, or thoughts, emotion transform to the Dharmakaya. So this all pacify. This all the method of pacifying the emotions, this distraction, and then quickly bring your mind back and meditate. So whenever you notice mind to be unhappy, then when you meditate, rest in mind, could be, you can get this, your mind's unhappy, to be unhappy. Seeing the quality of samadhi cultivate happiness. So this is all is when you meditate, during the meditation, you get this kind of experience. If you get experience unhappy, what do you have to do? So you have to cultivate of samadhi, seeing the quality of the samadhi. So you have to cultivate samadhi qualities. The samadhi qualities, meditations, benefits, quality, or you can cultivate Buddha, Dharma, Sangha's quality. and you can cultivate, nirvana quality. You can cultivate the positive, the Buddha said, love, compassion, positivism. So like that kind, you can cultivate of the samadhi. Then the samadhi is meditation when you rest a mind to our minds into the natural states. So that time we have a bliss, joy, cultivate that kind of quality too. So that helps become release the mind to be unhappy. So your mind is not happy, is we can release, use this all the positive qualities cultivate. Why we get minds unhappy when you meditate? Because due to the our emotions, this meditation is really benefiting, and that's why you can get this kind of feelings, unhappy, sad, and emotion become more strong. The strong desire like that kind of arise. So that time we have to take into all these emotions apart. Otherwise, emotions overrun for meditators. Then you cannot go through, like high, the practitioners growing and go more strong, not possible, because you get obstacle. This obstacle, we have our ability to pacify if you use this method. So if we don't know how to use this method, then these emotions overrun for us. Emotion control again. When you meditate, if you don't get unhappy feeling, sadness feeling, or strong desire arise, like that kind of never happen, then your meditation is not really affected to your emotions. This unhappy feeling, sadness, desire, all these negative thoughts arise. That time, your meditation is like affected to the your emotions. So then that time, we have to practice Yadam deity, Ru Guru, supplication to Ru Guru. You can chant supplication to Tara and like that practice. Then go back to meditate again and put more effort. So then you can release this unhappy feeling, seeing the quality of samadhi, cultivate happiness. So we have to cultivate happiness. How to cultivate happiness? So think about it's all this cultivating precious human body. We have this opportunity to practice Dharma. And so many sentient beings, they don't have this opportunity. And all these cultivated qualities, our conditions that bring your mind is happy. So that means like cultivated happiness means like we have to cultivate precious human body. Then you really want to become, again, meditate. When you start to get sleepy and you notice mind to be getting sluggish and unclear. So when you meditate, then this, due to our ignorance, start to get sleepy because your practice meditation has, if going to affected to your ignorance, then that's the reason when you meditate, easily going to get sleepy, foggy. That time we have to put more effort. Long as you recognize that, you notice mind to be getting sluggish and unclear. What do you have to do? Focus your intention on a happy, positive object as described above and pacify the lethargy of mind. In this section right now, cultivating means like we have to cultivate positive, create a method. So resting mind meditation go with method together. Wisdom method practice together means like when you meditate vipassana, resting mind, you can be upset, unhappy, you can be have a desire, emotion arising. So that time you have to cultivate all these positive things. That is a method. That time you have opportunity to practice love and compassion for other beings. So that is called cultivating method, meditating practice method. And then you have to go back to resting again in the natural mind. That is called wisdom. This vipassana is a wisdom method. We have to simultaneously practice or go back and forth. In the section, you have to bring this both together. So if you're missing one, then cannot purify karma. If your mind is not resting in the natural states, then you don't realize. If we don't cultivate the love and the compassion, no qualities arising, not purifying karma. So that's the reason when you meditate, non-dualistic, non-conceptual, this suchness nature, we have an opportunity to cultivate this method, love and compassion. So when we get sad, and then cultivate all these beings due to emotion, so much sad and suffering. So you can generate again love and compassion for others, cultivate that. And then we can cultivate 4 thoughts, or it's post this cultivating section, like you can bring different method. You can cultivate 4 thoughts, meditation, cultivate love, compassion, bodhicitta. That's always a part of a method. We have to bring together. Then we have to go back to in state of suchness nature, meditate. So when you are into natural states, of course you get sleepy, and you can be getting sluggish and unclear your meditation. So that time, then focus your intention on a happy, positive object. What is the happy, positive object? You cultivate, like think about a Ru Guru is a happy, positive object. Ru Guru helps our dispel our darkness mind and this negative feeling, or is pacifying. So we have to supplication to Ru Guru and practice Yadam deity, cultivate love and compassion. So that's all have to bring together when you practice this vipassana, resting mind, non-conceptual meditation. Only resting mind cannot go to the Buddhahood, cannot enlightenment. So that's why we have to bring all these method conditions together. Positive object was described above, and pacify the lethargy. So we pacify our lethargy and ignorance of mind. Then focusing extremely intensely on the meditation. Then we have to go back to again meditate, especially when you have a sleepy and getting sluggish, unclear mind. When you notice that kind, so you have to put more effort. What is effort? Is focusing extremely intensely. So put more effort, tight up on the meditation. So we have to meditate. If you don't have this sleepy and sluggish, then you need relaxation. So we talked in the vipassana section, shamatha section, relaxation or tightness. So we have this sluggish, sleepy mind, then we have to focus extremely intensely on the meditation. If you are resting mind evenly and you push too hard or put in too much effort, that also will become a cause of mental distraction. So your mind is resting mind evenly, no sluggish, not too much distraction, be in the kind of balance. Your mind is balanced when you meditate. Then you don't have to push hard. Focus extremely intensely is too hard to become. You don't have to do that. If you put too much, then you get distraction. If you too loose, you can be sinking, and the lethargy and the sleeping. That's the reason you need a balance, find a balance. So meditation, all this is like finding the balance and the middle way, cannot be too tight, cannot be too loose. Same as these musicians. Musicians play the music, they cannot be too tight, they cannot be too loose. So they must have to have a balance, it comes perfect song. Like that, when you meditate, you cannot be too tight, cannot be too loose, must be and balance, middle way. So when you meditate, if thoughts, emotions are arising strongly, then you have to push hard. And also you have to recognize, same time your body, mind needed more relax. If you push too hard again, and then more arise, thoughts, emotions. When you're going to meditate, your mind is like kind of unclear, so you cannot meditate like easily going to fall asleep. That kind of time you have to push more harder. So or it's like you have to look to your constitution, your body, elements, what's going on. You have to recognize. That also will become a cause of mental distraction. If you are sinking into lethargy and you do not push or apply effort, that will become a cause of sinking even deeper into lethargy. We have to push more harder when you get sleepy. And you will not have any vipassana. So if you are sinking into lethargy, and if you do not push harder effort, then you don't have really vipassana. Vipassana means seeing clearly. When you have this lethargy, sinking into the lethargy, you're not seeing clearly. You just get foggy, sleepy, and unclear, or it's a opposite of the, vipassana. So that's the reason you will not have any vipassana meditation. Your mind will become as if blind. See, your mind is blind. You're not seeing. So vipassana means you have to seeing. Therefore, if your mind sinks into lethargy, apply effort. If your mind is resting evenly, do not apply effort. Meditating on vipassana, your wisdom will become predominant. Your shamatha practice may suffer like a butter lump in the wind, falling prey to distraction. Some meditators, they don't practice shamatha, always focus in vipassana, and then this kind also the problem can be happening. So your wisdom will become predominant, means like your clear and empty mind. That is very strong. Your mind is very clear, very strong, but not stable. can be easily lost, shaking. And your shamatha practice may suffer like a butter lump in the wind. So butter lump is put in the wind, then its butter lump is shaking. So like that, you're seeing the nature, but without vipassana shamatha meditation, easily you're going to lost. So last week we shared this section, when you have these instructions, Mahamudra, this Dzogchen, Vipassana section instruction, when you receive, you meditate, you can be into the natural states, but not stable, because without shamatha meditation, you can be easily lost. That's why we need to practice shamatha. Shamatha bring more stable our mind. Long as your mind is stable, then vipassana is become more stable, strong. So right now, what just I share is without a shamatha meditation, someone just receive directly vipassana teaching and use analytical and then rest their mind. These are the instructions, special pita instructions. You can be realized nature, mind, recognize, we cannot say realize, but recognize nature, mind, but then cannot be stay in that state too long. I mean, you cannot stay long there. You can be in there, then lost. And the reason is because not enough meditate shamatha. Someone who has meditated shamatha, then into vipassana, when you recognize nature mind, can be stay longer. That makes a big difference. So that's the reason we have to first step always shamatha when you meditate. You're going to meditate, example one, think about it, like every day we meditate 30 minutes. At least you have to focus for shamatha like 10 minutes first. Then that helps you go into vipassana. So you can be vipassana, can be longer. If you don't do that, is you directly go into vipassana, use this method, could be you recognize, true nature, but it's like easily can be lost. Think about like clouds weather. Sometimes like this clouds is very fastly moving. Sometimes the gap of the clouds between sun little bit shines, but gone easily, right? Like that. Our minds like follow the thoughts and emotions. Like you can be maybe a little bit kind of into recognizing the nature states, but right away there, these thoughts, conceptual thoughts arising easily shift away, go away. So cannot stay in that natural state too long. That's the reason when you meditate, always apply shamatha first. Then you go into vipassana, maybe stay a little bit, you can be stay longer. So in this, right now, what I'm sharing here, you don't have to finish it completely, like realize it shamatha first, then go into vipassana. Never ever do like that. No one has like that way. So you always go back and forth to practice. Every section, every meditation section, we have to apply both. So you don't need to think about only morning practice shamatha, evening practice vipassana. You don't have to do like that. Just one section. If you have 10 minutes, think about 10 minutes, 5 minutes is shamatha, 5 minutes is vipassana. So if you have 15 minutes, 5 minutes is 4 thoughts, loving kindness, like this method, 5 minutes shamatha, 5 minutes vipassana. So then you finish meditate. You have to do like that. Then also, that's just generally, individually, you can go back and forth often and often. You don't have to really create, I have to do 5 minutes vipassana, shamatha, and 5 minutes vipassana. When you meditate shamatha, your mind is like become peacefully and stable, relaxed. You want to go into it right away in the vipassana. It's all possible, vipassana. Then it's going on something not stable. This vipassana is shaking, vipassana is dominating, and go back to right away shamatha. So you have to use this practices, go back and forth often and often. Bring both equally, together. Shamatha, vipassana, kind of like this quality is bring together. Cannot be shamatha is strong, cannot be vipassana is strong. If shamatha is too strong, your mind is resting and no wisdom. And vipassana is too strong, your mind is shaking, not stable. So that's why we need both equally, bring together. That's all. You have to know which is you have need to apply. So not every day same. Just each meditation is always goes a little bit different. Maybe some days you have to put more effort for vipassana. Some days maybe you have to put more effort to shamatha. So some days you have to put equally. Or is you have to recognize what you have to do. So every day we practice like 30 minutes. That's also really helpful. If your 30 minutes is if you don't really resting, if 30 minutes is you really practicing meditating, that's changed our life. Even we don't have time to do lots every day, but these 30 minutes every morning we practice, that is creating lots our habituate changing. After 1 year, so I can recognize some better than last year, because due to this everyday 30 minutes meditation really helps. So we have to keep going continually, need the patient effort. Just one day you come to meditate, this doesn't help me, and then next day you cannot have the effort you lost. Or maybe one day you have really good effort, one day not, then you just think, I cannot meditate, like you don't do again. It's you lost like that way. Our samsaric beings, we always lost because we don't have enough effort, patience. So without that, we cannot keep going. If you don't keep going, then no benefit, any practice. If you really kept going, you don't need anything much, any other than that, every morning practice. That is your window practice, that is your yadam deity practice, that is your shamatha meditation, that is your vipassana meditation. Everything is in there. We bring all together. And as long as you do all this daily practice, that is truly for preliminary practice is there. You say, I'm not going to do this daily practice, I'm going to do something different, preliminary practice. You go to preliminary practice, something different, just you cannot find anything more better than this. Because you just goes like monkey jumping each branches, like that. Then finally don't get anything. Or branch tree is empty, no fruit there. You stay 1 week, branches, they have lots of fruit. So long as you have patience and effort. So that's the reason when right now I'm sharing these teachings, actually every day we practicing doing these things. We have Guru Yoga, we have Yadam Deity, we have a Bodhicitta, we have love, compassion, forethoughts, or Yadam Deity, and meditation. everything's in there. So have to keep going, need the patience. Then you practice when your shamatha predominates, then meditate to cultivate wisdom. So if shamatha is dominant, then we have to cultivate Yadam deity and Mahamudra, this Shama Vipassana meditation. So shamatha dominates is great actually. Shamatha dominates, you have to recognize that. You recognize that, then you know other practice, Yadam deity practice, Mahamudra, Vipassana practice. As long as you know that, then you easily go into Yadam deity, Mahamudra practice. Shamatha dominates, I think is perfect, great. Because your mind is stable. Then you go into easily Vipassana. Vipassana dominates, shamatha is awake, then harder to bring relax, it's peaceful because like that we have mostly in this time practitioners. I think Vipassana is a strong dominates because due to all these teachings, we sharing Vipassana teaching, Mahamudra teachings, all the time you're hearing this, and Yadam deity practice, we don't practice shamatha much, could be Vipassana dominates. Vipassana dominates, then see, you recognize your mind nature, but not there, always lost. So our case, we have to more focus for shamatha. Then shamatha also cannot dominate. When meditate on cultivate wisdom, we have to cultivate Vipassana again. When you gain equal capacity at both, then you will abide without fabrication in the bliss of body and mind. This shamatha Vipassana equaled, then your mind is be in the nature, will abide without fabrication, not thoughts, emotions, not arising, and the bliss of body and mind. Then you will get the quality of the meditation, like bliss. The bliss is joy, but we cannot share which kind of bliss because we don't have experience. This bliss is beyond our words, and cannot put in the words to share, recognize something. So bliss experience meditation, usually they talk about mute person, eat candy, they can get the taste of the candy, but they cannot share for others beyond the words for them because they cannot talk. So like that, meditators, and they get bliss of the mind, they have experience that cannot share for others beyond the words. The one of the master, his name is Gendeng Chimpur, is a very famous Tibetan scholar, and he talked about this meditation qualities we cannot describe. Also Buddha's experience. He give examples like nomads. Nomads have kids, they never eat candy. The nomads, like always stay in the high mountains with the animals and the shepherds and the nomads kids. They never eat candy. They always eat cheese and yogurt and milk. So then someone come to there and talk to them like, oh, the candy is not same as yogurt. Candy is not same as milk. Candy is the same as not same as the cheese. Like giving the candy's test, like explain for them. they never ever get. They're only thinking about the cheese or milk or yogurt or butter, or like the mind is always something else. They're going on this, what they knows, stuck with that experience, what they have experienced, or the mind is, whatever others shares, the mind is always stuck this there, what they have own experience, because they cannot go beyond in that. They don't have experience. So like that, whatever we talked, we never ever get Buddha's experience. We never ever get this blessed experience through the words. That's why sometimes better not talk, because more confused. You talk more, you get more confused. You cannot get, you always bring your thoughts. Like just normal the kids only eat butter, cheese, milk. So they only focus this thing, this object, thinking about their taste, what they have already. Only they're thinking about what they already eat, their taste. They never ever get something, never eat before they're going to feel that taste. Like that. Whatever we talk, only dualistic, conceptual. And we cannot go beyond in that, our percepts. So we cannot get experience, this bliss and Buddha's experience. So now we have human beings body, only we have this human beings experience. Even we don't have experience, cow's experience. We don't know the bug's experience. We don't know the dog's experience. Their seeing, form, hearing, song also could be totally different. So we have a small eye here in our heads, tiny eyeball. So whatever this eyeball see, and then we say exist. What this eyeball cannot see anything, then we say no exist. So we always make decision through our capacity. Someday you have a more bigger eye, like this size of the Damari, your eye here. You seeing all this object is totally different. You seeing more beyond in this. That time, what are you going to say? Then how you going to explain for these people who has this small tiny eye seeing? You say, oh, more beyond in this, more bigger than this, like I seeing this. Others don't see that. Whatever you talk, they cannot get. So we eat food, we get good taste, our food, but that food is given to some other beings. Could be they don't get that taste, same as taste, because not food for them. Maybe not food for them, different experience. The cows is grass. They have delicious for that. They have, maybe they talk about how delicious, how these nutritions, how it's important. This each grass has like kind of qualities. We don't recognize that. We grass is not for our food, right? See, we don't have this experience. So like that, this talk about the bliss of the body and the mind is beyond our perception. So whatever talks we cannot get. The cows, we talk about our food taste to sharing with the cows, they don't get. No any idea for them. They don't understand anything about that. So like that, it's always followed by this is individual like capacity levels. Meditators, bliss, body and mind is beyond our thoughts. If you do not experiencing the bliss of body and the mind, so no, what do we have to do this bliss? This section is from the Kamala Shila I talked last week with you, sharing with you the story. So he said, don't start with bliss, cultivate love and compassion. So how do you cultivate love and compassion who don't get blessed? All these sentient beings never ever get blessed. I mean, they never ever so far get blessed. We don't know future. So far, never ever get blessed. And if you get blessed, think about these beings suffering, extremely performed something secret level there. No experience, no recognizing. You recognize that arise compassion for others, no cautions. No cautions. So secret bliss, you feel that. Then all these beings has that opportunity, that nature, no one discovered, no one recognized. Due to that, extremely stuck in samsara, suffering. Your feel that arise compassion for other beings. So that is cultivate compassion for other beings. Then see your wisdom method is going together. And that taking to the Buddhahood. Buddha is not only wisdom, Buddha is not only method. So on the path, we have to bring together. When you meditate, even like think about the shamatha meditation, your mind get peace, relax. Then you also can cultivate love, compassion for others. Because other beings too much, mind is like follow the conceptual thoughts, too much stress, sad, unhappy, or due to samsaric conditions, you feel like your mind's peace and joy. Then that time you cultivate love, kindness, compassion for others, practice, bring the method practice together. If you do not experience the bliss of body and mind, at that point reflect that all world realms are illusory. Then when you meditate, you cannot have expectation to bless. Expectation is also obstacle too. I want to get blessed. That's why I'm meditating. Then you never ever get blessed. So bless is just condition or this no obstacles arising. Not only one cause there. So many conditions have to come together, causes conditions. So practicing and then arising these conditions together, but you try apply every condition is hard. So that's all kind of naturally have to rising together condition. Then we get blessing. Someone has like strong expectation, get blessing. Something like through your practice, get good qualities, powers, or something expectation. Then that is an obstacle. Without expectation, get blessed, but some reasons, even you don't get blessed, don't attach to that, no hatred to that. You do not experience the bliss of the body and the mind. Then what you have to do at that point, reflect that all world realms are illusory. Then we have to think about all this samsara world realms are illusory, same as a dream, truly no exist. Then bliss also you recognize, no expectation, because also it seems illusory, no exist permanently. So that helps like become you don't thinking about like kind of a expectation too strongly, wanting bliss. You don't have this strong expectation to bliss, then could be your mind is become changed again. This all the condition comes, you get bliss. So that's why is we have to cultivate here love and compassion. These all worldly realms are illusory, recognize, and these beings are suffering, stuck in there, even not truly exist, but we don't recognize. Samsaric beings, so strong fixation to samsara. Cultivate that like a dream, a miraji. Think think to yourself, then thinking about ourselves. Oh, I have this good conviction, I have these teachings, I have this, meditation practice. We have to cultivate our self joy. Bring this joy for ourselves, like using this practice. Same is like when Jigting Sungong get sick through the leprosy. He wanted to do power himself. Then he postation to the Chinrezek statue before the doing power himself. So then he cultivated this again himself. So that's all purify his karma. So kind of exactly he did it this way. He thinking about I'm sick is okay, not that big problem because I have this teaching. I meet my teachers, the same as Buddha. I have all these teachings practice. I can change this body, can go to, Buddha field. So then he thinking about all other samsaric beings. They don't have these teachings. They don't have this practice. They don't have teacher and they don't have a dharma. They are extremely suffering in samsara. He thinking about these all beings. Extremely compassion arise his mind, and then that compassion purify his all subtle level karma. Then he don't have to do the power himself. He just recover through power of compassion. He recover his illness, and he's become enlightenment there. So that's a kind of, like here, when you don't get experience, also bless our body and mind at that time, reflect that all worldly dreams are illusory, like a dream, a miracle. Then we have to think through yourself, means like we have to think about ourselves, precious human body, and how we are lucky, connect with the Dharma, and comparing to other beings. So these other beings no connect with the Dharma. Even samsara is illusory, but no recognizing. So they're all teaching, we shared. You have to think about again, cultivating. Oh, we are lucky. We have this teachings practice. Then that helps purify our karma and connect with the bliss of body and mind. All these sentient beings have not realized, performed true, and so they remain totally afflicted by confusion in samsara. So all these sentient beings have no realized, performed true, of course, no realizing, but and so they remain totally afflicted by confusion in samsara. 99% in this right now human beings, think about 99% totally afflicted by confusion in samsara. Only 1% in the world could be have some realize, perform true, and so the Dharma. Maybe 2% could be have connect with the Dharma, even not realize. But most 98% is totally confused, afflicted by confusion in samsara. So then that kind of beings take how long to connect with the Dharma? Right now I only talking about the human beings. 98% human beings no connect with the Dharma. If they lose this human being's life, where that goes? So think that or cultivate, then you really recognize how we are lucky and connect with the Dharma. Then arise extremely compassion for others. So that compassion is protection, our protection. Protection is free from samsara. Totally affected by confusion samsara. I will do whatever I can to ensure they realize the true nature. Then you get effort. I want to help these other beings. Arise bodhicitta too. So I want to help these other beings because these beings have a true nature, but no realizing. not recognize. I want to help them. So arise bodhicitta, I can do ensure they realize the true nature, dharmata. Thinking in this way give rise to great compassion and bodhicitta. So arise the bodhicitta. This section is called the wisdom is a cause. Love, compassion, bodhicitta is result. And the last way we talk about love, compassion, bodhicitta, that is like love is cause, compassion is result. Compassion is a cause, bodhicitta is a result. Bodhicitta is a cause, wisdom is a result. That's usually we guide generally, stages, level, follow like that. But this is totally go back to different way. Wisdom is a cause, compassion is a result. Same is like Jigten Sungho, he purified karma, his compassion is result, wisdom is a cause. Through the wisdom, extremely or unconditional compassion, immeasurable compassion is arise. So that compassion is Buddha become. Until that, we have to cultivate love and compassion. So wisdom is a cause, compassion is a result. It's only meditators have that. Meditate vipassana and Mahamudra. Otherwise, wisdom's cause, compassion results are not possible. Even you share for people, someone not meditate, talk that is they don't understand. Only meditators understand, recognize. Wisdom meditation is cause, arise, compassion. So the story is the same as Jigten Sungho, he purified karma. Then bodhicitta arise. So when we talk about emptiness, so no main point is here. The bodhicitta, the method, wisdom is have to practice together simultaneously. They cannot dominate each one. So cannot dominate by wisdom, cannot dominate by compassion. Have to inseparably, like equally, we have to practice. Then it's become Buddha. When we talk about emptiness, imbued with all perfect qualities, what do we mean? So when we talk about emptiness here, imbued with all perfect qualities, this wisdom has all the qualities imbued with all perfect qualities. All the perfect qualities subsumed like 6 paramita. Wisdom, generosity, wisdom, morality, wisdom, patience, wisdom, joy, effort, wisdom, meditate, wisdom in the wisdom. So like that, imbue all the qualities together, no separable. Long as you have this Mahamudra realization, all this perfection is there. Qualities inseparably imbued everything, emptiness imbued with all perfect qualities. What do we mean? So what means? We mean emptiness inseparable with generosity. Emptiness inseparable with generosity. So who meditate vipassana? They're giving something for others that is like emptiness inseparable with generosity. The perfect quality is there with generosity because they don't have attached to, their subject, object, and actions. They have using the compassion and wisdom, no any expectation for generosity, giving to others. So they recognize also object of generosity object is emptiness, like worldly realms are illusory, like a dream in Maharaji. We already talked. Giving object action also like that. Then subject who giving person also they're thinking about their own is illusory. And the same as dreams. Like being have no, the dream are marriages. So the person have that kind of realized wisdom, then the giving object is called generosity with wisdom. Perfection of generosity. They become called perfection of generosity. And then your wisdom has perfection of generosity. Wisdom, emptiness imbued with all generosity qualities together. So like that, then imbued with all other like ethical discipline. Emptiness inseparable with ethical discipline. Ethical discipline, emptiness is like you recognize ourself is not exist. Then, like object of action, like, like stealing, killing, all this usually we talk about the 10 no virtuous, the action also not exist. And then object also not exist. Recognize all this is like worldly realms are illusory, like a dream and a mirage. You have that kind of wisdom, and then also that's emptiness inseparable with ethical discipline. So that is the highest level ethical discipline. Then same like that, just idea is like patience. And ordinary people, we have enemies like become really strongly fixation, hatred to that person, enemy. Then this meditator, the Vipassana meditator practitioners, they use this method, then emptiness imbued with all the patience. So the patient, they recognize that ourself is not truly exist. And then anger is not truly exist. Object of the enemy is not truly exist. You recognize that, and then that is called emptiness imbued with patience, perfect qualities. So then we also mean emptiness, patience, and diligence, and meditation. We also mean emptiness inseparable with wisdom. So other is easy because patience, the emptiness, wisdom with generosity, wisdom with ethical discipline, patience, or the easy. Then last one, we also mean emptiness inseparable with wisdom. Wisdom, emptiness. The last one is emptiness inseparable with wisdom. You seeing or is emptiness, recognize emptiness, but also non-nothingness is free from all the dualistic conceptual. And that kind of practice is called emptiness inseparable with wisdom. In this way, the pro-modal wisdom of omniscience. So that is called pro-modal wisdom of omniscience. The supreme emptiness, imbued with all qualities, is brought to full realization through the skillful means of generosity and so forth. So that's bring all the Buddha's qualities, imbue all the qualities as brought the full realization, Buddha's full realization through the skillful means of generosity and so forth. Omniscient wisdom is perfect through skillful means. It does not arise only from wisdom. So the perfect wisdom does not only come from wisdom, does not arise only from wisdom. The part of the Bodhisattva is therefore exerted to be imbued with both wisdom and skillful means. The Bodhisattva qualities arise from skillful method and wisdom together inseparably. This is how the transcending nirvana is attained, then become Buddha. There is a nirvana that does not get stuck in either extremes. So when you become Buddha, then they're not stuck samsara and not stuck in the nirvana, free from both. So due to the Buddha's compassion, not stuck in the nirvana, same as the shavakas, ahats. Due to the wisdom, they're not stuck in samsara, same as samsaric beings. The samsaric beings, why stuck in samsara? Because no wisdom. Shavakas, ahats, why stuck in the nirvana? Because not enough compassion. Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, free from samsara and free from nirvana. They're not stuck in samsara due to their wisdom. They're not stuck in nirvana due to their compassion, free from both. By the power of wisdom, Bodhisattvas do not fall into samsara. And by the power of skillful means, they do not fall into the absorption of nirvana. They don't stuck in the absorption of nirvana. Absorption nirvana, this shavakas meditate and then stuck there is eons, no suffering, no feelings. So one day there also, the Buddha came wake up there's an example, previous Buddha, during that time, Shavaka is sleeping there, and the Buddha Shakyamuni comes, he wake up them. And during the Buddha Shakyamuni, Shavaka is sleeping until Buddha Maitreya comes. They are sleeping. So they sleep very long time in their state. But it's a good state to sleep, like blessing nirvana, actually, no suffering, comparing to stuck in the samsara. But not the same as the Bodhisattvas. They don't sleep in that state because due to the compassion. So then they do not fall into the absorption of nirvana. That is why when we are actually meditating in transcendental wisdom, this transcendental wisdom is a method wisdom inseparable. That is called the transcendental wisdom. Only wisdom is, we don't call transcendental wisdom, right? And only compassion also we don't call this. This meditating in transcendental wisdom is like when you meditate this resting mind, bring all this together, not stuck with one. So then it's all the quality, Buddha's qualities arising. Or resting mind evenly in meditative absorption. Resting mind evenly means like method, wisdom evenly in meditative absorption. We are not engaging actively in a skillful means practice such as generosity and so forth. So then we are not engaging actively in a skillful means practice such as generosity and so forth. When this resting mind, that time we don't actively, practice skill for this compassion and compassion and bodhicitta. The thing about this section is called rest and mind meditation. In the rest and mind meditation section, mind even meditating absorption, we are not engaging actively in skillful means. At that time, we don't really cultivate love and compassion. When you are in the meditating practice, such as generosity and so forth, you don't have to your resting mind or have to generosity, practice generosity, practice morality, practice love, compassion. You don't have to think that. We don't do that, so forth. However, then how do we cultivate this love and compassion, generosity part, method part? However, this wisdom comes about because of relying upon skillful means in the beginning and at the conclusion, before meditation. So beginning, you're going into the resting mind, you have to cultivate love, compassion, bodhicitta. Then you rest in mind. In the resting mind, then during that meditation, so we already talked, could be you have bliss. You get bliss. You feel special feeling. And at that time, then you can cultivate for love, compassion for some samsaric beings. And if you don't get bliss, also you can cultivate love and the compassion for other beings. And in the meditation, could be you can unhappy feeling and the sadness, emotion arise. During that time, you can cultivate love, compassion, also part of generation stage, practice Yadam Deity Guru. And then end of the meditation, you can do dedication. So that means you bring all this skillful method is during your resting mind meditation. Beginning, you have opportunity, bring skillful method. In the middle of the meditation, you get different kind of experience. During that time, you can apply skillful method. End of meditation, you can have opportunity to dedication. So that's where you have to apply method. Otherwise, you get really confusion. You say, I'm going to meditate, rest in mind, and I'm going to apply love, compassion. Or you can do two things together, not possible. You say, I'm going to resting, at the same time, I'm going to running. You're going to sitting and running cannot do together simultaneously. So before running, you can cultivate them. And middle of the running, you can resting somewhere in the thing about. So actually that example doesn't go correctly. Running is same is cultivating love, compassion. Sitting is sitting meditation, right? So you can run first. That is thing about cultivating skillful method. Then you resting because you run and you resting. And resting, and then you can run again. So you can do again cultivating. But the examples doesn't go correctly. Actually, other way. Other way is resting meditation is kind of running, and cultivate bodhicitta is before the running. So I'm going to run. So my running is going to benefit for my body, my mind, and for other beings. Other people didn't have good body and mind. So think that, cultivate love, compassion for them like that. Mind janara, mind, cultivate bodhicitta. So like that. My running wanted to benefit them too. The running is the same as the skillful. The wisdom, resting mind, meditating. Then you run so you can, in somewhere you can resting again. You can think about, okay, stop, and you get tired, and then you cultivate again. So, I get tired. Why you get tired? Because you run. That's why you get tired. If you don't run, you don't get tired like that. Why you get upset? Why you get unhappy? Why you get emotion so strong? Because you meditate. That's why you get this. Now you think about again. Oh, my meditation is really effective to my emotions. And you think about then cultivate this samsaric beings suffering. Practice, then you have applied practice, yadam deity, guru yoga, many things you can practice again, do there. Same is like you running, you tired, then you can resting a little bit there. So like that, you have to cultivate, when you get tired, you have to take rest like that. You have to cultivate bodhicitta, compassion, and many different levels you need their practice because due to your experience. And then you can run again. Yeah. And then you can, after finish it, you think, oh, my running is like, that running is the same as wisdom meditation. So that's then you dedication for others, benefit for others, like that. So that's it. The skillful method and the wisdom go together like that. Cannot really simultaneously practice, but during the practice, wisdom practice, you have opportunity practice skillful method. So when you run, during that time you have opportunity. When you're going to run, so then you have opportunity to do this cultivate, mind generate, like some good intentions you can create there. If you're never going to run, you're not going to exercise, then you cannot do that because your exercise is thinking about the benefit of yourself and your body, your mind. Same like that, then you're going to do that. You also can share for others. This want to benefit others. So like that, you're doing something, then you always have that kind of method you can share for others. You're going to meditate. That's why you have this skillful method can bring together. Then long as you bring skillful method together, then your practices become very powerful causes of Buddha, and enlightening all qualities arise. So your running there, you're going to run, there has wisdom, there has method together. So there has like own benefit, they have own other benefit. Think that way, when you meditate, so we have to bring all the qualities together. That's time gradually as Bodhisattva ascend through the higher premise and the purified mind, he or she eventually waking to unsurpassable and perfect enlightenment. So we're going to get Buddhahood. That has all the qualities arising. However, this wisdom comes about because of relying upon skillful means in the beginning and at the conclusion. When we are resting our mind naturally in meditation, if we place our minds on a visualization or focus object of great compassion by directing our intention to sentient beings, that it itself is relying upon skillful means. So you during that time, the rest time mind, during that time you have this opportunity, beginning and the middle and in conclusion time. That is why wisdom and skillful means rely on simultaneously. In this way, after one has meditated for a long period of time on compassion and bodhicitta and become more adept in this, gradually one's mind stream will become rapid. So here is talking about become more adept in this gradually one's mind stream means like for a long period of time, take long time, not just get right away, take long time to get this quality. That's why we have to put effort and we need patience. Its quality comes, take time to have this happening. Otherwise, all sentient beings become Buddha easily. Why so many beings in stuck samsara? Because this take long time. Samsaric beings, no patience, not diligent. Then, long as you have a patience, diligent, become more adept in this, gradually one's mind stream will become rapid. Then gradually rapid our mind. Our mind is going into the nature, in the nature, not going back to samsara. The nature is like you going close to nature, own nature, discovering our own nature, rapid. And the transcendent wisdom awareness, free from conceptual limitations, will be realized clearly. Then such a bodhisattva will become a true child of Buddha and will stand apart from all worldly beings. A bodhisattva abides in the realization of dharmata, the absolute nature of reality, and in the recognition of dharma, that the basic space of all phenomena. Gradually, as a bodhisattva ascends through the higher premise and purify the mind, he or she will eventually awaken to unsurpassable, true and perfect enlightenment. So we practice this long time, then wrapping our mind, realize true nature. So one day we realize the true nature. So that time we call the first Pimi Bodhisattva. It's called the child of the Buddha. So that time is like truly child of Buddha. It's the first Pimi Bodhisattva realization. First Pimi Bodhisattva realization has realized absolute true nature and also this skillful method. Then we true child of Buddha and will stand apart from all worldly beings, become is free from samsara. So then we put effort more practicing again. It's called meditation part. So first permit Bodhisattva to graduate like second, third, 4, 5, 6 to all the way 10th limit Bodhisattva. Then end of the 10th limit permit Bodhisattva purify all subtle level obscurations and become Buddha. So this shamatha vipassana meditation taking to the Buddhahood. We don't have like that, the section is in the shamatha meditation. Shamatha, we didn't say like, taking to Buddhahood, right? This vipassana meditation taken to Buddhahood. Because vipassana has this wisdom with skillful method, we practice simultaneously and purifying karma, and gradually our like qualities like become arising, taken to the Buddhahood. So we finish vipassana section there, and now we're going to do the dedication and then we can discussion. First, dedication. Dorjen Chang, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Dharmalord Gambopa, Pamotropa, and Lord Digomba, please bestow upon us most auspicious bless of all Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may achieve omniscience, by defeating our enemies confusion. May all who traverse on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise, where it is unborn, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activity is separate, far and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Manjushri the Vero realized automatic state, and as did Samantha Bada, I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for sentient beings. By the blessing of Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma society, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the Mary Ashe bear fruit. By the virtues collected in the three times, by my seven and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the inner rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of Guru Digomba Ranashiri, whose omniscient Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue to increase through study, practice, contemplation, meditation, and enter end of samsara. Thank you, everyone. So now going to we're going to do the question and answer. No questions.
I actually do have a question that's somewhat tangential, but what should you do if you have difficulties even getting into a posture where you can really meditate for a long period?
Can you say again?
If you have difficulties sitting cross-legged or even maintaining a good posture in a chair, what can you do to meditate for a longer period of time?
Well, you can change your posture. If you cannot sit down cross-legged, too hard for you, you can sit in the chair. If that's too hard for you, then just lay down, meditate. Easiest one.
That does seem worth a try, thank you.
If good is like, best is cross-legged. Change lots, body habituate, brain mindful. Then if someone cannot do that, if you don't do, then that is incorrect. If you can't do, then you have an excuse again. You can sit in the chair. So you sit in the chair, no lay into the chair, so align the spine and meditate. Create a little bit different habituate. Usually you sitting in the chair, align your spine, tongue is touched behind the teeth, and softly open your eye, gaze object, like all this 7-point posture, which is you can apply. You apply all this method with the sitting in the chair. Then someone really cannot do that, sitting in the chair too much, pain the backs and the heart. Then another is still you have another choice. You can lay down in the bed and use some object like, put in the ceilings. You can see this object, meditate. As somewhere in the front, it's a correct way, just meditate, rest in mind. That's also possible too.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Bruce. Hi, Melissa.
Oh, Kimpala, thank you so much. All your teachings have really benefited my meditation. And I know for everybody else, because we keep coming back, I'm so grateful. The question I have is about, last week you were talking about in Vipassana, looking directly at a thought, emotion, or object without accepting or rejecting. Then what happens? Does that just doing that practice help you realize the true nature of thoughts, emotions, and objects and decrease attachment.
Yes. So then your wisdom is growing. You're liberating thoughts, emotions, and your wisdom is increasing. Your quality is increasing. Purify karma, and your practice has become strong and strong if you can liberate thoughts, emotions like that way. No rejecting, no exception.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, real quickly, you had once mentioned that there's a Mahamudra practice of meditating on a crystal. Are you interested in sharing that, if it's a benefit or not? Is that useful?
That's a crystal is also bring your mind for awareness. The crystal is usually symbolize our natural mind. So you see that, and you always like recognize, oh, my mind is like, same is like crystal is empty, clear, present, or this quality crystal has. And then that you connect with the meditation. And then also crystal, you can use object of meditation, shamatha. And you use crystal object of meditation, they also help you recognize your true nature. That's our support.
Thank you.
Yes. Robert. Robert, we cannot hear you. Okay,
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Rinpoche, question I have is, what is the difference between the view of Huashang and resting in nature?
You mean Hashang?
Yes.
Hashang, actually, of course, that topic is really, really big. We have to talk so much. And even philosophy is confused there. When Hashang shared this, is in the Tibetan philosophy teachers, so much investigating and talk about that. Each philosopher also wrote a book for, Hashang's what he is, what he did wrong method. So lots of information, but main point is Hashang didn't use skillful method. And Hashang didn't use practice for relative truth. And Hashang didn't put and create accumulation merit. So if you don't have that, words is the same, but meaning is not same. Words is like kind of the same thing. What right now we're sharing the Vipassana and resting mind meditation. He used the same words, but their philosophers, this realizes, recognize the same words, meaning is totally different. And without create accumulation merit, without you using the skillful method, and then whatever this word is saying is like not true, kind of like that, no benefit. So that's only I can share with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So the exo examples, what the Maya Minka talk about no exist, emptiness, and Hashang talk about emptiness. Difference is one just realize, experience talk about emptiness. One never ever have realized, recognize, just put the words. The kind of difference is like that. Sharing is.
Thank you.
Mm. Their example, Mapam Rinpoche, he wrote many examples. I don't remember all the examples, but one example he said, someone stealing some object. Then the person said, you stolen my object. That person said, no, I didn't. Another person never stolen other object. This person said, you stolen my object. They said, no, I didn't stolen your anything from you. Okay, so the person is honest, he didn't stolen anything, but other one is stolen object, but he say I didn't. So it's big different. One is true, one is not true. So words is both are say yet no, both says no. So I don't know, that helps. Like that kind of, he put many different examples. Mapanambochi, he wrote the book about the Hashang's view is why it's wrong. And even he's saying it's not true, if that's why it's practice no benefit.
That does help. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, Roku, Lobu.
Thank you, Kempola.
Thank you.
I want to clarify something, like when you're meditating on, let's say, afflictive emotions like anger, attachment, is that like analytical shamatha or is vipassana already?
This is a vipassana rest in mind.
Okay. And if like
Rest in mind, you know, emotion arise. So this is talking about the beginner vipassana meditator, right? We talk about a very high used to someone already meditation. Then emotion comes, rise, the seeing emotion, the look to the emotion. The emotion is not exist. They're called liberating emotion. Yes.
so when, let's say, when I'm meditating on anger, and then I feel like I don't have to meditate on anger anymore. And if I meditate on anger, I get angry. Well, does that mean like I have to jump to something else or like meditate on the anger I feel about meditating on anger?
It's you know, meditating anger, you don't have really anger there. Anger is separate from you, like, but it's this is like we cannot put it in the, like, you know, words, like you follow your own experience. Meditator anger arise, so they recognize, you know, watching the anger is like meditator anger, the king separate, like low separate, become separate. And anger no control the meditator. They watch the anger, then it's become anger is object of meditation. So that means like really no anger control the meditator.
Okay, so that would mean like just to meditate on something else, like, I don't know, loving kindness or compassion, whatever one needs to meditate on, or like you have to follow a method that you have to go from one to the other, to the other, and to the other.
If you have the ability, then you see the anger is no exist.
Mm-hmm.
So anger also no exist, then that no exist is wisdom, and then just rest in mind. Don't have to do anything more than that, cultivate nothing. Just anger is naturally liberating. Own liberation to the own anger is liberating on the anger naturally. So then you don't have to do anything. Just
Okay.
be in the nature mind again, meditate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Kempola.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kempola.
In the water, and then, like, you know, it's we are in the water sinking and dying, like that is usually anger control us. We are in in the emotions. So no, someone use some method, sinking in the water. So you use the water and you do think about the paddle board or do the paddle board like that, So you're moving in the top of the water, sinking. And then you use the water and you're moving like that. You use the emotions and that is your practice. You are not in the sinking in the water. So you using the using the emotions.
Okay. Okay, that's clear.
Yeah, that's clear, right?
Yes.
More better than that, actually. The paddle board, like that kind of example, is more even close to that. Meditators emotion is never even close. But
Okay.
a little bit helps idea.
Thank you, Kempola.
Yeah.
Canberra,
Yes.
may I ask a question?
Yes, Lamin, please.
Whenever you say that in meditation, something doesn't exist, to me, when I am angry, and the anger truly exists, but I feel the strong body sensation, I feel the heat itch on my back, my shoulder, and everything. So the anger does exist, but when I see it deeper, see it as a cause and effect, have the beginning, have the middle, have the ending. So it's impermanent. Does that mean that's not exist, or the anger just never exists? Because whenever you say it doesn't exist, it really confuses me. Because any emotion, when they arrive, they do exist at that moment. But they do have the beginning, the middle, and the end. So they will go away sooner or later. And if I am patient watching them, just like in the paddle boat, and the emotion was like the water, but I thought about it, that's good. But you cannot say the water is not there. If the water is not there, you are not using the paddle boat, you are not on the water. So to me, doesn't exist means cause and effect, means impermanent, or means something else. I don't know. Because doesn't exist to me, it seems like totally deny the existence of the emotion. But that's not true, because we are bothered by our emotion. If it doesn't exist, we should never be bothered by that.
Okay, I mean, why is the emotion control us not exist? That's why emotion control us.
But what does it mean not exist? To you, that not exist means just totally not there?
That means
but they
not
are there.
Emotion is not permanent.
Yeah, they are. So doesn't exist just means it's not permanent. You have the beginning, have the middle, at the end, it will be gone sometime.
Oh, they have beginning, no middle, no end.
Okay, no beginning, no middle, no end. Then how can you say that it's impermanent?
Yeah, impermanent is no. It means like no exist, right? If it exists, then Lamin, maybe you never ever have anger, because like same is right now. You don't have anger right now, right?
I sure have a lot of anger, but not in this moment. I don't have anger. I have fun.
Anger is not exist. That's why this moment present is no anger. If anger is exist permanently, then you never ever have like this present moment is without anger. Not possible.
So you mean that if we say something doesn't exist, that just means they are not existing permanently, but they do appear, do they?
That's why there's no exist. That's why do appear, because due to conditions.
Okay, so that's cause and effect. The condition arise and the anger arise, like all kind of emotion. The fear arise and everything is conditioned, but it doesn't mean that, because to me doesn't exist like
okay,
the
you
house.
one thing, when you anger arises, you recognize or not?
Yeah, I recognize immediately because anger is such a strong emotion. So yes, I
when
didn't
you
hear you.
when you
Yeah.
recognize your anger, what do you do?
I just take a deep breathing. Anger is there. I know you are there. Where are you going? And I try to catch you. I want to understand you more.
You
That's
see,
what my hand teach us. Yeah.
yeah. So that's say breathe helps anger is go away, right?
Yeah, whether it go away or not go away is not important in that practice. It's more
That means
you
anger,
watching it and
anger
understand it.
you cannot push away. It's
No, you cannot push. If you push away, you will persist there. You won't go away.
yeah. So that's why you use this method. Anger is naturally released, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that means anger is release. Release means like no permanent. That's why you can release, not exist.
I still don't understand not permanent. Why not permanent is not exist? Because not permanent means it does not last forever.
Anger is always there, exist all the time, always there. We cannot do anything. Then you use this breathe meditation. Doesn't have anything. You cannot move that. When you use this method, anger is become released. That means anger is no exist.
So I think that you mean that not exist actually is just means it's not solidified. It's not permanent. It's not forever there. So that's why it's not exit. To me, exit means just very temporary. Exit is exit because I am here, so I exit, but I know I'm not permanent. I will die someday and all these things, but I still exit in that moment. I still talking with tempura. If I don't exit, how can I talk to you?
You exist permanently. There is how you can talk to me, because you cannot change yourself. Like you always like permanent. Then you cannot talk with others. You're talking with others is like you are continually changing. You know.
Changing. Yeah, I understand I change, but I don't understand why when I change, that means I am not exist. I think I change, but I still exist. Just means I exist not permanently. So whenever you say our emotion doesn't exist, to me it's confusing because I'm always knowing that's here, that's there, and that's there. Maybe
Okay.
they are not permanent,
Very
but they're
good.
still there.
We are accepting same meaning, but a little bit debating with the words.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
I don't say exist. I say permanently not exist. Okay.
Okay. Then I can
exist.
accept that. Thank you, Kambula. Thank you. By the way, the teaching is wonderful. It's really helpful.
You debate winner.
What?
You win the debating.
Oh, thank you. I didn't want to win the debating. I just want to clarify.
You win naturally. You win. Even you don't want to win.
Okay, thank you, Kambula. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kempula.
Good
See
day.
you tomorrow.
Bye.
Beautiful teachings.
Thank you, Kempula.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
Kempola.